DETV News is powered by DART, Delaware's transit service. Moving forward.
Tonight, the Food Bank of Delaware faces a major crisis. Find out how a federal decision could leave hundreds of thousands without meals. Plus, a potential shakeup in Delaware's abortion laws. What's at stake for young people under a proposed new bill? And spring sports are in full swing. We've got your 302 sports rankings for baseball, softball, lacrosse, and girls soccer. Find out where your favorite team stands as the season kicks off. Those stories plus your local forecast and much more straight ahead. DETV News starts now. Good evening and welcome to DETV News for this Wednesday, March 26th. I'm Matt Ford. Here's what's making headlines today across the first state. The Food Bank of Delaware announced yesterday that it will face a shortage of 900,000 meals due to the federal government canceling all scheduled deliveries. This decision, part of President Trump's recent food aid cuts, halts 19 truckloads from the USDA's Emergency Food Assistance Program, which represented over a quarter of the bank's expected supplies for the year. President and CEO of the Food Bank of Delaware, Kathleen Jennings, expressed concerns about the impact on food insecure Delawareans as rising food prices further strain resources. And the Delaware House of Representatives passed a controversial corporate law overhaul late Tuesday aimed at making it harder for small investors to challenge insider deals by powerful shareholders. Governor Matt Meyer signed the bill into law, citing its importance in protecting Delaware's corporate tax revenue, which funds nearly a third of the state budget. Critics, including law experts and investors, argue that the law will benefit wealthy shareholders at the expense of regular investors, while undermining Delaware's reputation as the go-to state for business and corporation. Despite strong opposition, though, the bill passed with a 32-7 vote. Governor Meyer says the law will keep the state of Delaware the premier home for U.S. and global businesses, but opponents warn it could harm the state's standing in the long term. And Delaware House Bill number 46, introduced by Representative Brian Shoup, seeks to amend abortion laws by requiring minors under the age of 16 to obtain parental consent. Currently, they must only notify the household. Shoup emphasizes the need for family discussions on such significant decisions, reflecting concerns voiced by Delaware families. However, critics like Mike Brickner from the ACLU argue that it could create unnecessary barriers for vulnerable minors, potentially putting them at risk. This bill will be reviewed by the House Health Committee on March 26th. And Delaware Attorney General Kathleen Jennings is advising residents to delete their data from 23andMe following the company's bankruptcy filing, which raises concerns about the potential sale of sensitive genetic information. Jennings highlighted the intimate nature of genetic profiles and urged immediate action, as the company may not honor deletion requests during the bankruptcy process. Delaware's new data privacy law enhances consumer protections, allowing residents of the state to request data deletion and opt out of targeted advertising. And Delaware's Vision Coalition unveiled its ambitious education initiative this week, Student Equity and Excellence 2035, at the Delaware Tech Terry campus this week. Developed with input from over 1,000 Delaware residents, this plan addresses key issues facing public education here in the first state. Governor Matt Meyer emphasized a collective responsibility for improving scores as well as school safety. The roadmap includes over 100 policy recommendations aiming for 80% of young children in quality early education and 90% of third graders reading at a grade level by 2035. Students like Aaliyah Harmon expressed optimism about being included in discussions shaping their education. And Representative Stell Parker Selby was sworn into office on Monday afternoon after being noticeably absent in January due to a medical event. House Speaker Melissa Minor Brown praised the House's support for Parker Selby, emphasizing compassion for her recovery. While the specifics of her medical event remain private, Majority Leader Carrie Evelyn Harris said Parker Selby is recovering and awaiting doctor's clearance to return to Legg Hall. The swearing-in came 1 week after GOP leaders expressed concerns about the lack of representation for the District 20. A timeline for her return remains unclear today. And a follow-up to a story we brought you last week, Tasha Oliver, the former principal of A.I. DuPont Middle School, has been indicted on 19 charges, including 3 counts of third-degree rape related to the sexual abuse of a girl under 16 years old. The alleged incidents occurred between the years 2010 and 2014, while Oliver was teaching at Stanton Middle School. After posting $205,000 bail, she was released pending trial scheduled for this May. The Delaware Department of Justice is reviewing communication practices following public notification delays. And we're learning more this week about the 77-year-old mother and grandmother who died last week after being beaten in her Dover home. Linda Carson Pfizer's body was found on March 20th at her Wyoming Mill Road home after a 911 call raised concerns for her well-being. Police at the home discovered she had been dead for some time, with injuries consistent with assault, including a broken hip and head injuries. Carson Pfizer had allowed a homeless couple to live with her. Police say a violent argument between the 2 men occurred on March 17th when one of the people assaulted her. She was left alone, unable to get the help she needed. The couple was arrested then on March 23rd, charged with second-degree murder. Holland also faces criminal contempt charges. They are being held on a $1 million cash bond at Sussex Correctional Institution. Anyone with information is, of course, urged to contact detectives at Delaware State Police. Speaking of Delaware State Police, they have arrested 23-year-old Jonathan Dugazan in connection with a deadly shooting at Nutter Park back on March 12th. The incident left 1 man, Shizer Dessen, dead and 3 others injured. Dugazan faces multiple charges today, including first-degree murder, and is currently being held on a $2.15 million bond. Police responded to reports of gunfire shortly before 4:30 in the afternoon, with Dessen succumbing to his injuries at a local hospital. The investigation is ongoing, and authorities urge anyone with information to please come forward. And on March 23rd, shortly after 9 p.m., Newcastle County detectives stopped a black Nissan Altima car driven by 20-year-old Drayden Nabowski in a Wilton community. A search revealed mushrooms, psychedelic mushrooms, drug paraphernalia, and a ghost gun with a 40-round magazine. He faces multiple charges, including possession of a firearm by a prohibited person and carrying a concealed weapon. He was arraigned and held at Howard R. Young Correctional Institution. And Wilmington police are continuing their efforts to identify a woman found dead back on March 4th along the Christina River. The state's medical examiner determined that she was likely a white woman aged 25 to 35 and had been in the water since December. Police have released detailed sketches of her tattoo to aid in her identification. Anyone with information is urged to contact detectives at 302-576-3621. And we're going to take a quick break from the headlines and check in with our Shakara Denise, who's live with us in the studio for her forecast for the rest of the week, plus, of course, her famous event picks coming up this week. Hey, Shakara.
Hey, Matt, and hello, DETV fam. The weekend and warmer weather is calling, and trust me, you will want to answer. There is lots going on, so let's jump right into your DETV's weekend weather forecast. For Feel Good Friday, it will be a little cloudy, but hey, I'll take the mild high temps in the 60s and lows around 51 degrees. Now on Saturday, we are looking at beautiful sunny skies and a high of 74 degrees. I'm going to say it again, 74 degrees. Spring will definitely be in the air, and in the evening, it won't be too bad either. A low of 53 degrees, so still a win in my book. And wrapping up the weekend on Sunday, we will have a mix of sun and clouds, highs near 69 degrees, with a light breeze to keep things comfortable. Now, there may be a quick sprinkle or two in the afternoon, but nothing that will ruin your day. Evening temps will be around 59 degrees. Now, for what's happening this weekend. If you have friends and family visiting and need to make some plans, I got you covered because there is plenty to do for all ages. Let's start with Friday. The William Hicks Anderson Community Center is holding their 90-day fitness boot camp. Kickstart your Friday morning with an invigorating fitness session from 6:15 in the morning to 7 o'clock, setting a positive tone for the day. Now, after you knock out your cardio, head over to Home Base Delaware for some live music and good vibes. They have all sorts of music from rock, jazz, and everything in between. On Saturday, the Wilmington Institute Free Library is holding their 4th annual Dancing with the Delaware Stars fundraising gala. Director Jamar Raming, who was just on our Good Morning Delaware segment, this week was giving all the details, and we are so excited. Be sure to go to our social media to catch it if you missed it. This will be a night of glamour and entertainment at the Grand Opera House. Come support a great cause while enjoying some awesome dance performances and cheer for your favorite Delaware stars. And there might be a couple DETV people there too. This will be the mood to go to get more excitement, and you can head on over, if you're interested, to the Chase Fieldhouse, where our Delaware Bluecoats will be hitting the courts against the Raptors. This is our G League team, and they'll be tipping off at 6 p.m. Bring your energy, and let's cheer them on to victory. Now, as we roll into Sunday, check out the Delaware Author Fair from 12 to 3 at Rockwood Park and Museum. You can meet local authors and discover your next great read. But if you're in the mood for some shopping, which is totally my style, head on over to the Christiana Mall at 1 p.m. for Macy's Say Yes to the Dress Prom Fashion Show. Prom season is right around the corner, and while you're there, be sure to check out Mrs. Lewis Nails, where they'll be handing out exclusive coupons for nail services. Grab one, book that appointment, and get ready to have your nails looking flawless. Now, we're wrapping up Women's History Month, but that doesn't mean the celebration ends there. Let's keep uplifting, supporting, and honoring the incredible women sharing our community every single day. And speaking of empowerment, go ahead and mark those calendars for April 26th because you do not want to miss the 11th Annual Health, Wellness, and Empowerment Summit, hosted by the Wilmington, Delaware Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. This powerful event is happening from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at P.S. DuPont Middle School. And trust me, it's so much more than just a summit. We're talking health screenings, vaccines, a survivor fashion show, a luncheon, and so much more, all designed to empower and uplift our community. If you haven't been before, this is your year to go. Secure your spot and register at the link provided on your screen and be a part of something truly impactful. Well, there you have it, DETV fam. There's something for everyone to enjoy this weekend in Delaware, so there is no excuse to stay indoors. Don't forget to share your weekend adventures with us at DETV. Stay safe, have fun, and make this weekend one to remember. Back to you, Matt.
Sounds great, Shakira. Good events there. We'll see you again next week. In other headlines today, Wilmington City Council's Reparation Task Force is focusing on improving relations between police and African-American residents here in the city. In a recent meeting led by Policy Director Dr. Kendra Brumfield Nwangwa, recommends included mandatory bias-free police training. Task Force Chair Kobe Owens emphasized the need for expert training to address past failures that have harmed the community. Other topics discussed included expanding public safety initiatives and addressing biased treatment in correctional facilities. Future meetings will continue exploring reparations-related issues in the city. And Delaware Senate Bill 69, introduced by Senator Eric Buxton, seeks to ban the synthetic food dye number 40 we've been hearing about in public and charter schools. Citing health concerns, this bill follows efforts to ban red number 3 statewide. If approved, the ban would prevent selling or distributing products containing red number 40 during school hours, aiming to protect students from potential behavioral and health issues that are linked to synthetic dyes. This decision awaits further review by the Senate Education Committee. And the city of Wilmington will conduct a test of its emergency alert and notification system this Friday, March 28th at 1 p.m. We want to let you know 13 sirens will sound for about 3 to 5 minutes total. This is part of a system installed back in 2005 to enhance public safety. This test on Friday, overseen by Emergency Management Director Willie Patrick, is designed to ensure readiness for actual emergencies. For questions, you can contact him at 302-576-3915 or email at wpatrick@wilmingtonde.gov for more information. Now shifting gears to some exciting action on the sports field. Spring sports are officially underway. Let's check in with our Nick Alessandrini, who's in the studio with us for more. Hey Nick, how's it going?
Thanks, Matt. And we have fall sports in the books, winter sports in the books. Now it's time for our spring high school sports. They are here, and baseball opening day for the Phils, well, that is tomorrow. It is officially that time of the season. But we're going to start today with the new 302 Sports rankings for Delaware's spring sports. We've got baseball, softball, lacrosse, and girls soccer. So let's dive in and start with our baseball rankings. Here are your baseball top 10 to start the season on your screen. Thank you, Dennis. And here we go as follows. Kicking it off here at number 1, your defending state champion Sally's, 2, Cesar Rodney, 3, Sussex Central, 4, Cape Henlopen, and then 5 right there at Sussex Tech, William Penn, DMA, Conrad, St. Mark's, and Delmar, rounding out your boys baseball preseason top 10. Now let's head to the circle for our 2025 softball rankings, brought to us here by 302 Sports. It starts again sitting atop the rankings with a defending state champion in the Caravel Buccaneers, followed here by Lake Forest, Cape Henlopen, Smyrna, and Sussex Central, and then 6 through 10, Apo, DMA, Polytech, St. Mark's High School, and then Laurel rounding out that 10th spot there for softball. So there is softball. Now let's get to the boys and girls lacrosse rankings. And once again, we'll start with the boys here to kick things off. And a familiar face at number 1, it is Salesianum, another defending state champion. At number 2, Cape, 3, Archmere, 4, Friends. At number 5, the Cesar Rodney Riders. And then rounding out the top 10, Tatnall, Milford, Tower Hill, Middletown, and First State Military Academy. So now we'll shift gears and take a look at the girls' rankings as we begin the spring lacrosse season. What do you know? Defending state champion at number 1 in Cape Henlopen, followed by Tatnall, Archmere, Sussex Academy, and Cesar Rodney. Rounding out the top 10, Tower Hill, Wilmington Charter, Ursuline, St. Mark's, and Concord. Well, we're going to bring our spring sports together here with some early rankings for girls soccer, Division I and Division II. That's going to round out our spring sports, but let's start with Division I girls soccer. Number 1, the Middletown Cavaliers, 2, Apo, 3, Smyrna, 4, Polytech, 5, Padua, 6 through 10, Delcastle, St. George's, Wilmington Charter, Milford, and Cape Henlopen. So that takes us to finally our Division II girls soccer rankings. Number 1, Caravel, number 2, St. Mark's, Sussex Academy at 3, Newark Charter 4, Archmere at 5, and then 6 through 10, Friends, Indian River, Odessa, Sanford, and Wilmington Christian. So spring high school sports are officially underway. That's your look at all the rankings to look forward to as we dive in and get started. But the Philadelphia Phillies, they're looking forward to their opening day. That comes tomorrow. The Fightin' Phils open up the 2025 season on the road at Washington on Thursday. First pitch scheduled for 4:05 p.m. Eastern. Phillies manager Rob Thompson announced that Zach Wheeler will once again start opening day against the Nationals. It'll be Wheeler's second straight opening day start for the Phils. Mackenzie Gore, he'll get the nod for the Nationals. Again, heading into the season, the Phillies have the 4th best odds to win this year's World Series, so we hope they can do it, Matt, and let's see if they can. Back to you.
Nick, good to see you. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Speaking of sports, hey, Delaware's beloved Mr. Celery was named the 2nd best minor league baseball mascot in the country in USA Today's 2025 10 Best Readers' Choice Awards. Our loved, quirky celery stalk, who dances on the field after every Wilmington Blue Rocks run, earned the honor earlier today, Wednesday. In celebration, Blue Rocks owner Dave Heller promised, hey, free tickets to a future game, likely in April or May, as a thank you to all the fans. Heller called it simply amazing that Wilmington's mascot beat out teams from larger cities like Buffalo and Las Vegas. Wilmington's Mr. Celery lost out to Orbit. He's the alien mascot for the Albuquerque Isotopes. Mr. Celery will enter his 25th season with the Blue Rocks on April 8th. That's coming up. His origin story dates back to 1999 when the mascot costume was actually found in a dumpster, setting the stage for a legend that continues today. Sounds good, Mr. Celery. And that's going to do it for this edition of DETV News. Be sure to follow us all along your favorite social media platforms for what's happening all around the state. And if you have a question, comment, news, or sports tip, send it our way. Contact us. Our email address is press@detvch.com. For Shakara, Nick, and all of us here at DETV, I'm Matt Ford. Have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll see you right back here next week. Good night. We don't talk about prostate cancer enough, and it's the most diagnosed form of cancer and the second most common cause of cancer death among Black men in both Delaware and the United States. Approximately 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime, but just by asking your healthcare provider if you should get a screening could help you detect prostate cancer early and save your life. So let's talk about it. Talk to your healthcare provider today about a prostate cancer screening if you are 40 years of age or older, or have a family history of prostate cancer. If you don't have insurance, or if your insurance doesn't pay for cancer screenings, Screening for Life may provide you with the screenings that you need, and Nurse Navigators make this process easier. To learn more, visit healthydelaware.org/prostate or call 211. Ask your healthcare provider about a prostate cancer screening, and you're asking for so much more.
My name is Jason Unveils, and I am the founder and owner of Fly Yogi, and I'm here to share with you some tips to be able to help fight opioid addiction. Opioid addiction is a real growing problem here in America, and I'm here to share with you some tips that you can be able to integrate into your everyday life to really fight against opioid addiction. One of the first things is redeveloping your mindset. One of the practices that I like to use daily is meditation. And what meditation does is it brings you clarity of mind, and it helps keep you grounded, and it improves your ability to make decisions that you are going to benefit from. A lot of the time we find that addiction is rooted in our mindset. It's rooted in how we think and how we perceive, and therefore how we act. So this is a really good way to help fight against that energy of addiction. The second thing is improving your lifestyle through diet and exercise. At the very root of addiction, there is substances within the body that's causing the addiction on a physical level. When we begin to introduce healthier foods, plant-based foods, we begin to remove and detox the substances that are in our body that's causing and attracting the addiction. So through incorporating more fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, and even drinking water on a daily basis, you're going to put your body in a state where it's going to be able to fight the root causes of these addictions. The second part is exercise. Exercise is good for mood. It's good for energy. It's good to increase vitality. It's good to get your heart pumping and get your blood flowing and get oxygen moving throughout the body. So through engaging in physical exercise, complemented by incorporating healthier foods, you're putting your body and your mind in a state where it does not want what's causing these things that are manifesting negatively in your life. So addiction can really be decreased by just incorporating a healthier lifestyle through diet and nutrition, exercise, and then also making sure that you're tackling the mind through mindset, through meditation.